Hi everybody. I'm experiencing the reason why I'm not doing these lives tonight. This is the third attempt. I've been interrupted. The dogs have barked. I've forgotten something. So hopefully this is fourth time lucky. So as you can see, I've got quite a lot of my background in now. I'm not sure with my background just yet. I'm a little bit worried that this colour is clashing with it. It's a bit too similar to this colour. But I did want quite a suitable background. I wanted it to feel quite soft and not stand out too much. And I think when I get my stitching in as well, I think that will bring the bird back forward a little bit more. But we'll see. We'll see. Sometimes these things work, sometimes they don't quite work. So all I've got to do now is just fill in this corner. You'll notice this. Hopefully you can see on the video. This line here is actually where it actually finishes. The picture finishes. Because I'm stretching mine over a box canvas, I'm doing quite a big overlap. Okay, so this is all the bit that will go around the edge of the canvas. Depending on what you're going to do with it, you might not need a big overlap, but because I want to stretch it and hang it, that's the reason why mine probably looks wider and taller and better. But basically it's just more background. There's nothing really on the bird that's any different. The bird's exactly the same size. So let's just fill in some of these bits. When I do finish it, my intention is to obviously I'll give it a good iron, and if you've got an iron that looks a bit like that, just put a bit of paper, any old paper. It doesn't have to be baking parchment or whatever. Just put it over so that you're not going to mark the picture. I have, in the past done fabulous pictures and then put my iron on it and it's just left a nice big mark on it. So let's just carry on. I think I'll just use this. So I'm just generally blocking this all in different shapes. Nothing too regular. So you've got all, funny old shapes. When I come to stitch it, my intention is to do quite tight stitching, meandering stitch in the background. Obviously you're going to highlight the way the branch goes, and I'm going to try and highlight the way the feathers lay. So take it that way for the top piece, bring it down this way through the body, and I think I'm hoping when I get the stitching on, it will bring the bird back out again. I'm quite keen on using sort of recycling things as much as possible, so I've got some old blankets which I intend to cut out for my batting, and because it's going on a canvas, I don't need to put a back piece of fabric on it at all. So I will just stitch it onto a piece of thick blanket that I've got, basically. Again, it's sort of things you can kind of, you don't have to go by the book sort of thing. You can use whatever you've got available. It's been really nice seeing some of some of the work that some of you are coming up with. They're looking really great. It's really not, it's really satisfying actually to see people kind of taking your patterns and doing their own thing with them. It's fab. Love it. I always get more satisfaction out of somebody else doing it than my own work. Because obviously this is going to be the edge that you won't really see. I'll probably use some bigger bits going along there. In fact, let's do a bit straight away. You just kind of fill it in, because you really don't see, obviously you'd see the edge if there was nothing on it, but when it's hanging on the wall you really don't see, you don't notice what's around the corner. It's a slightly thicker bit of fabric, so I'm just giving it a little bit more of a press. Where just pay attention to where you've got the lighter colours. Where I've got the lighter colours, I'm going to use some of the darker fabrics that I've got on here just to hide, just to bring that colour out. So you can see what a difference that kind of makes. That beak is a little bit similar to that, so I'm going to put a different colour in behind there. Find what's going to work behind there better. I think this yellow would quite... Let's peel that off a bit. That's too similar. That's quite nice. No. No. That one. That one, I think. Yeah, I like that. So I'm wondering if you would like to have a video of me stitching it. I can do that as long as you don't laugh at me, because I'm not really a very good sewer. The sewing part is the bit that absolutely terrifies me. I can do all this, I can do the designing, I have no problem with that at all. But I come from a zero sewing machine experienced background. I mean, honestly, I couldn't make a napkin, I don't think. But it might be interesting to see how I try and get the flow going. Let me know in the comments. Give me some feedback. I am busy doing another design for you, if you want it. I put a post up asking people what they'd like, and there was a few comments about landscape or animals. Somebody asked for a heron. I haven't done a heron this time, but I may have done an animal and some landscape. if you want it. But I probably won't bring it out until some of you have sort of caught up with the glue tit. With magnolia. Somebody sent me a lovely picture of their magnolia that they'd finished, that then you just needed to stitch. Hopefully she's going to post it. It was cracking. It's really nice to see that, because that was quite a hard. I realised that was a much harder design. But those are the kind of tips that I need. You've got to say to me, that's too hard, that's too easy. Because I'm at the level I am, and I guess I'm pushing myself a little bit to get better and better. And that kind of means doing harder and harder designs. But sometimes you get just as much. In fact, I actually probably I've got more pleasure out doing this. Doing the big dog pictures and everything, because it comes together quicker, and it's not such much of a wrench, really. Sometimes I have really struggled with the dog picture I'm doing at the moment, and it's been a bit of a slog. And I know I get it, but I get frustrated because it slows down the whole process for me, and it'll only just be one part of the picture that I'm really struggling with, and then all of a sudden you get that, and then the whole thing will take off, and you'll get it done so much quicker, and yet you probably spent 2/3 of your time on just one little bit. So we're kind of building this up. We haven't got too much more to go. Not the most interesting watching me build a background, probably. I'm still hoping somebody is going to let me know about Steam Seam Light, because I have no knowledge of it, and I don't really know how it compares to what I use, which is Wonderweb in the UK, and I think it's Wander Under in the US. So I don't know. I mean, I'm explaining what I'm doing with this particular product. Whether it works the same with Steam Seam Light, I'm not sure. So it would be really useful if somebody could just sort of go through. And I believe you have to do a lot of ironing on it, whereas I don't actually have to do. I mean, that's, if I peel this back, it would have stuck. You can see it's stuck to all of the pieces, so it's probably not that much ironing. I will go over it and iron it quite thoroughly, but that's more to flatten it. I could easily pull this off in one piece now without even having to iron another piece on it. But I believe that Steam Seam you do have to iron quite a lot. But like I'm saying, I don't know. So please, and if there's any other products people are using, glue. I've never used glue, so that would be interesting to see how it works. If it works with my patterns. So please do let me know. Like I keep saying, I'm not an expert. I'm just learning along as I go. And I'm sure there's probably people on here that are more experienced than me. So please do. I just want it to be a nice sharing group. Right. Got my space in the middle there. Because I've got quite a light edge here, I'm going to make sure I run something darker up to it, or am I? Or should I just... No, I think I'll just try and blend that edge in just a bit. So I'll use the similar sort of shades, the colour that's up there. This is just one piece, one whole piece that I had. I thought would work quite nicely. I think possibly where I've gone wrong is with this piece here. Although I love this colour, just having it as a whole, I think maybe, I don't know, or maybe I don't know, we'll see when I finish. You can, I mean, your backgrounds can be any colour that you like. You don't have to stick to the actual picture. Use your values to get your segments and go with something else. So I just wanted it just to quite a subtle blending type of background rather than something that was very contrasty. Because that for me is something different, because I tend to do quite contrasty backgrounds, so I wanted to see if I could manage to do something suitable. I'm not sure I can. You see, each piece I put in, I tend to put it into the back of the other pieces, especially if it's a slightly thicker fabric. I don't want it to stick up from the rest. Saying that, I'm now just going to stick a piece right over that little gap there. No, I'm not, because that's the same as that. Maybe if I just go up, that's better. See, this is taking longer than I thought it would. I brought these slightly green pieces in just to try and pull in this slightly green area that I've got here. So definitely a green tinge to this and this, just to try and pull that. Like I said with you when you're doing these bits, as long as I'm using it somewhere else within the picture, I'm happy to use as many pieces as I like. I don't restrict my palette, ever. But I wouldn't use one piece on its own. One shade probably is the better word. I've got a slight problem here because this is tape. So let's just get away speeding that up a bit. If I go on top of that, let's see if I can just it will hold up without it on there at all. Yeah. Because if I iron on that, it's going to melt. Hey, we're nearly there. Sorry, the crunching is me cutting bits out. I don't think you really need to see that because there's nothing special about the bits I'm cutting out. Right. Okay, got a slightly ugly edge up there. So I'm just going to trim that down a bit. Like that. Just hold this bit on a bit longer because it's the slightly thicker fabric. And then I think, oh, I've got this little bit here that I need to fill in. And then we're there. So what can we put in there? Bit of this. Just proof that it's all stuck together, look. And proof why you should try and avoid leaving bits in the middle that you can't get to very easily. There we go. Pull that over. There we go. Right, and then the next job I'm going to do is I am going to give it a good iron. Just get it out of the way. Just going to put this on here. With the Wonder Web, I don't need to use steam, it's just heat. hope I'm not getting all my arms all over the video that you can't see. Right, over there. Do you dare me to pull it off? Let's get my iron out of the way. Okay, here we go. It's just stuck to a bit that I hadn't put the parchment paper on there. Okay, so I just run my fingers down basically. You can see it just comes off really easily. There we go. Just the whole thing off. Just get that out. Turn that round. Use my head for something. And there we go. That's completely off. Ready to go on my batting. There we go. Still looks vaguely like a blue tip from the other side. There are a few little gaps. I'm not going to worry about those because I can even fill them in with my stitching. If I find a few gaps, I can fill them in with stitching. So that's it for today. I'll come back when I put it on my piece of blanket and do a video on stitching if you'd like. Let me know. Bye.